here we go with Sallust, continuing. Chapter 20, pick it up at verse 14. And we have a quote. Quin igitur ex burgissimi. As we know, the mini is the deponent and passive second person plural. Igitur is therefore or then, and quin, qui is why or how, and the n bit is a negative. So why not therefore? Wake up or something. Be roused. And this means behold, it's an interjection. Illa illa, this, basically. Quam sapi optastis, this which often you wish for. Sapi is the adverb for often. Now we have a list. It looks like libertas, freedom. And another adverb, praeterea, besides. So things which often you've wished for. Liberty, divotea, riches, decus is honour. Sometimes it means good looking, but it means honour most of the time. Gloria, glory. In oculis sita sunt. So sita is taking this female here. And in oculis is in with the ablative. So these things are in your eyes or in your eyesight most likely. You can see these things. Fortuna omnia ea victoribus premia posuit. So omnia ea and premia go together. So all these things are rewards. We see the neuter plural to the victors, victoribus, and so that the nominative is fortune. So Forno has placed all these rewards for the victor, for the victors, plural. Res, the matter or circumstances. Tempus, neuter. Time, pericula, neuter, plural. So, circumstances and time and dangers. Egestas, this is poverty or neediness. Belli spolia magnifica, magisquam is more than. So these magnifica, spoils of war, these magnificent spoils of war, you might want to say, more than mea oratio. Vos means you, and we have a deponent. Hortenta, so it means urging or encouraging. We see it's plural, so the matters, the times, the dangers, the poverty, all these things are encouraging you more than my oration or his address to them. These magnificent spoils of war. Vel, it's used as an adverb or as a preposition. As a preposition, it means or. So we have imperator, which is the ablative singular. So, and we've got vel again, so it'd be either or, either emperor or militite me, which would mean me as a soldier. Utamini, utor takes the ablative, which is why these are in ablative. So, you should use me either as your emperor or as a soldier. Nequi animus, neque corpus, a vobis aberit. This is absum. Means I'm away or I'm absent. In some lesser uses, it means I'll fail you. But so neither in the animus, which is a courage, nor in body, will I be away from you or will I fail you. Haec ipsa. We have two demonstrative pronouns. These things themselves, or this itself, ut spiro, as I hope, vobiscum, with you, una consol agam. So I'm conducting myself as a consul. Una means together, and vobiscum, with you. So these things, as I hope, I'll be doing or conducting as a consul with you, nisi, unless or except, forte, by chance, me animus fallit. So the mind deceives me, or the courage fails me. Mind is often mens as well as animus. So unless by chance my mind fails me, and vos, again we saw that up here, it means you. It has a nominative and accusative, the same. Servire, we'll just take it as to serve. Magus quam, more than. Imperare, which got its infinitives, to obey, to order actually. Parata estis, so this is periphrastic. It's plural because of the I. So, you are prepared, is what this estis means. You're prepared to serve more than to give orders. Yep, so that's what he's saying. These things itself, as I hope, with me as consul, together with you, unless by chance my mind deceives me, and you're prepared to serve more than imperare. Okay, so postquem. After accipere ea homines, after these men had accepted this conversation, whether they wanted to be slaves or whether they wanted to be giving the orders, doing the ruling, quibus, by which male abunde omnia erant. So everything that they had was abundantly mala, which is trouble basically. So to these men, they had all types of troubles. Sed neque, but neither the res, again, the matter or the circumstances, neque spes bona uli. Ulla again is a pronominal, usually has a negative in front of it, not always. Neither the circumstances nor any, nor hope, spes is hope, of any good. That might be ablative. Temetsi, although illis to these people, quieta movere magna merces videbatur. It seemed to move this quiet, this settled thing we see in the lobe, or to move matters which are quiet. Movere often means a revolution as well. Seen more of a magna merces. Great profit, we might want to say here. We also get merchandise and other words from mercs. Tamen, nevertheless, postulavere plerisque. So very many people, or a lot of people, they postulavere, they demanded ut that proponent, that he should place in front of them, or place that in the open, quae conditia foret bello. What conditions there would be of the war, quae again, which premia armis per, which rewards they should seek with arms. We'll take that as ablative plural. And quid, ubique. So what everywhere, opus or spe haberent. So what riches or resources or hope they should have everywhere in all these conditions and these places. Tum Catilinae, then Catiline, policere, like the infinitive version of it, he promised tabulus novas, new tables. This means he would cancel out debts. They write their debts and stuff on the tablets. Proscriptionem locupletium. Prescription is when you put on a list people to kill. Prescription of the rich. Magistratus, these are officers. So he's these are things he's promising: cancel of debts, prescriptions of the rich, officers and sacerdotia, priesthoods, rapinas, that's seizing things. You could basically theft, you might want to say. Alia omnia, all sorts of other things. Quae which, the Bellum, which is war, and libido, which is basically lust. Victorum fert. So these things would be born upon them if they won. Basically, victorum. This would be put onto the victors. These things which he's promising. Praeterea. So besides, essay, looks like we're still in reported speech. In Hispania Citera, this is hither Spain in the ablative. So Piso, essay, he was in hither Spain. In Mauritania, cum exercita, with an army, was P. Citius, or P. Citium, and here's his hometown, Newcastle. They were participants of his plan, or his machinations, all this plan of war and prescriptions and stealing and etc. Petere, seeking consulatum, this is a consulship. We have C. Antonium, which would be Gaius Antonius. My voice is still hoarse. Hopefully I'll recover. Quam whom, Sibi, with him, Fore would be his colleague, Spirit, he was hoping. A hominem, a man, et familiam et omnibus necessitibus. So a man who was both a familiar to him, who was a close friend, and with all sorts of necessities, with all sorts of needs. circumventum. I think this participle would mean he was needing all sorts of necessities. I'll make a dictionary word out of it for today. So cum with him, consolum, so he'd be a consul with him, let's say, and initium agundoi factorum. So it would be the beginning of his agenda, which they would do. Factorum is the act of doing it, and as promised, here's our daily dictionary word. Circumventus, a participle, usually means surrounded, but beset. That's probably a good word for what he was. He was beset by all sorts of necessities. We have circumvented and deceived as well. It can use. Okay, so with him in a consul, they were going to begin his agenda. Ad hoc. To this, maledictus increpibat. He was making insults, basically, or his accusations against omnis bonus. Omnis is a I stem, so it goes with bonus here, plural accusative. So with malediction, speaking badly, he was insulting all the good people, but suarum of his own people, unum quemque nominans laudere, okay? So nominans means naming them, unum quemque means each one of them individually was calling them laudere. He was praising them. So the maledictions, the bad speaking were to all the good people, and of all his bandits and the bad people he would praise them one by one. Good bit of scrolling as well. Where are we going? Down to there. Admonibat. So he was admonishing alium. We'll just say that as one of them, because we're going unum quemque, of the poverty, agestatus. Another one, an alium. So yeah, looks like they're going to be listing people, what he's done for them. Of his cupidatus, of his desires. So one is poverty, another one is desires. Culum plurus, very many people, or many people. Pericula, of the danger, or their ignominy. Ignomine, that's not a good thing. It's can be lowliness or dishonor or something. So the dangers and their dishonorable things. Multos, again, this is like complurus. Many people of the victories of Sulla. Sulla was a guy. You could Google him. Quibus ea praetor fuerat, with which fuerat had been their praetor. Their rewards or their booty with these things. Postquam. After omnium animos alacris videt, after he saw the alacris, which is enthusiasm and etc., animos is plural accusative. When he saw we'll just say for simplistic sakes, the eager minds omnium of all of them, cohortatus, having encouraged them, ut that petitionem suem cura habet, that they would have care or anxieties for his petitionem, his seeking the candidacy, and then he dismissed the conventum, the gathering, you might want to say. He dismissed it. Fure, there was ea tempeste at this time or in this time, qui dicerent, those who said, Catilinae, Catiline, oratione habita, when he had his oration, when he had his address or his speech, so it looks like it's concluded because it's in the ablative, and cum adius urandum, this is a swearing going on, popularis are the people, adigeret, so it looks like he forced them into his crime, his sceleris sue. He forced these people, the participants of his crime, by swearing, humanae corporis sanguinem, the blood of human bodies, double genitive, permixtum, mixed up with wine, ablative, in pateris, which are cups or bowls, and it was circumtulicate. It was passed around in a circle, you might want to say, to all these people who he forced them to swear some sort of loyalty to himself. Inde, then, it's just like day in day, but without the day. Cum post, when after execration, this like a sacred rite of the blood with the wine, omnes the gusta vicented, when everyone had tasted, gusta vit means you just tasted it, or sampled it. So after this sacred rite, sicuti, just as if in solemnibus sacris, feri consuevit, which is accustomed to happen in sacred rites, in solemn sacred rites. Again, it's all as if it's some sort of religion. He appaveravisse, he had made open his concilium suum, his plan. So they all swore to him, drank some human blood, as if it was a solemn rite, and then he made open his plan. Atque eo, in some versions it's idque, dictare, this is used in brackets, fecici. And so this thing, fecici, he'd done this, he'd done this speech basically, and he'd said this thing, he'd made his plan open, quo, by which, inter se amongst themselves, forent, they would be more fidel, have more fidelity, they'll be more loyal. The I is usually the plural version. So alias alle, one to another, tanta facinoris, could be partitive genitive, conscious. Again, the I means plural. So one would be conscious of another in such of a crime. Or a facinora is a deed or a crime. It's probably going to be crime here because it's a sceleris type thing going on. Non nulle means some people. Ficta and haec et multa besides existumabant. So there were some people who were thinking that these things and many things besides, multa praeterea, were fictitious or created. So some people thought that these things and many other things are being created. Ab is, by these people, qui, who, invidiam of Cicero, in their hatred of Cicero, quae postea orta est. Orta est just mean it arose, it's the female version of, which arose postea, which is the adverb for afterwards. So many of you think this hatred, those who had a hatred of Caesar which arose afterwards, credibant, they believed lenire was being softened in the or by the atrocity of the sceleris. Remember this facinoris, I pointed out, this deed or crime was a sceleris, it was a crime. Qui poenas dederant. Now the thing about giving a punishment, it actually means paying the penalty. So it's a peculiarity of Latin. So it's plural in the NT. So the people who paid the penalty for the atrocity of this time, and we're nearly done. So nobis, to us, sometimes it's singular, they use nobis when they're just talking about themselves, ires. So in this matter, pro magnitude, parum compertes. So little has been found, comperted, concerning the magnitude of the size of this by us or to us in this res, in this matter and the circumstance. That's it for today.